Next up, we'll have a panel session with some of our customers who have faced the challenges and frustrations in balancing growth and profitability. They chat with Vendasta's Nicole Lozon about how they deliver the right products at the right price with the right delivery model.
Welcome to our Conquer Local Connect Partner Strategy panel. I'm your host, Nicole Lozon, and today we're going to be covering how to grow profitably with digital. I want to welcome our guests. We've got an absolutely rock star panel of partners and strategists today. I'm so excited to introduce you all to them. First up, we have Annette Blaylock, Vendasta partner and founder and media strategist at Insights Media Solutions. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you, Annette.
Thank you for having me.
And we also have Mitchell Slater, Vendasta partner and founder and CEO of Slater Strategies. Welcome, Mitchell. It's great to have you join us as well.
Stoked to be here, Nicole. It's going to be fun as always.
Yes. And finally, we have Arpit Madan. He is one of our most highly sought after partner development managers here at Vendasta. And he's got a really strong approach for helping partners package digital solution bundles for peak profitability. So welcome, Arpit, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Nicole, for having me here. Very pumped to be in this room with you all.
Great. I do want to start off with a bit of an around the room to hear from everybody. So whether we're talking about review management services or maintaining a strong presence on social media, why would each of you say that it's so important for local businesses to pay attention to their online presence in 2022? And Mitchell, maybe we can start with you.
Yeah, thanks, Nicole. So, I mean, even since before COVID, I know people don't want to hear the COVID word anymore, but before COVID, it was super important because everybody was online. But I think all of that got just catapulted and just pushed us forward when everything went even more so digital, and businesses who weren't ready to be in the digital world were kind of forced to adapt, or they were going to die. And so everybody went online. So it's even more important now than it was 2-3 years ago to be online and not just be online, but have a good presence where you're sharing good content with people out there. It's easy for them to navigate your website because that's where they're trying to learn about you. It's how I obviously find and buy and use services online as I go to their website and I look up their information, follow them on social media or whatever it is, and read their reviews. So it's even more so I see my own habits where I've gone more so online than I did even 3 years ago because I've always worked from home. My wife works from home. So we're home a lot. So we're already here. So we're going to look up even more. So businesses that are out there, obviously all you marketers that are out there, they need our help because people are kind of catapulted into this digital age even more so. And they need our help to get there because they don't exactly know what they're doing fully. So that's what we're here for. And it's a perfect opportunity for us to help them and serve them.
Absolutely. Local businesses need to be found where people are already searching. Annette, do you have any additional thoughts on why local businesses need support with their digital footprints right now?
What we found here at our agency is most of the clients or prospective clients that we talk to have very low digital marketing visibility. They're either surprised or not surprised at all because they haven't been paying attention to it. A lot of business owners are super busy and they just really haven't focused on it and they don't realize how critical it is. They're missing out on a lot of sales when they don't have a Google My Business profile or, they just don't have an online presence. So by the time they get to us, they're really, they put it as a high priority, which makes it easier for us to help them.
Absolutely. And Arpit, you've worked with many partners on this very task. How do you recommend agencies make the case for a strong online presence with their local business clients?
Absolutely. I think agencies need to make a case for a strong online presence for both new and seasoned businesses. The world did change drastically after Q1 2020, and the physical presence was just taken over by the digital presence. I mean, there was a massive shift in how business was conducted, and the key was to adapt to the changing world. Businesses that adapted, they not only survived, but they also added another revenue stream by offering their products and services on the internet. 2 years hence, the change has set a benchmark for all businesses to have a strong online presence. So that the customer who's trying to find them on the 6 inches of their smartphone or a bigger desktop or a laptop screen can do that with ease. I think working with multiple agency owners over the last year and a half. Partners and myself, we've tried showcasing this end goal to local businesses, and we've coached them together to adapt and thrive in the digital era.
Absolutely. Local businesses can adapt and thrive with online presence and support to do that from agencies, of course. I do want to talk a little bit about packaging digital bundles for a moment. So I need to call out Annette on this one for a minute, because Insights Media Solutions hovers around a 7 product average basket size through our marketplace, which is absolutely phenomenal. Annette, you really lean into your position as an expert, someone that local businesses can trust to help sell your bundles rather than focusing on each individual line item. Could you maybe speak to your strategy around bundling?
Yes. Well, first of all, our agency is heavily invested in our client success. And in order to do that, we provide a strategy that encompasses 360-degree platform, which covers several different products, such as social media, reputation management, some of our core products, making sure that the website is a good website. And if it's not, we offer website development services. So depending on where they're at on their digital marketing and how advanced they are, we take a look at that first, and then we decide what solutions we go forward with. But we sell it as a bundle, and we sell it as a strategy versus like, oh, I'm just going to sell you reputation management, or I'm just going to sell you social media. No, it all works together.
Absolutely. Digital marketing strategy forward rather than focusing on the individual products they need to tackle that strategy first.
It's the recipe for success.
Yeah, I would agree. The numbers would show that. You've certainly pulled out some great metrics and basket size there. So that's fantastic, Annette. Mitchell, I want to chat a little bit with you now. Your business has been going for 10 years. You've been with us as a partner now for 7. You've made some changes to your agency's strategy over the years. Could you tell us a little bit about your hyper-verticalized approach and how it's helped you better serve your clients?
Yeah, so crazy. It's been over 10 years that I've been in business, and I started it when I was 17. I had no idea what I was doing, and I was like, well, I'm going to try this marketing thing out. And so I was trying to serve all businesses and help them with all the things they needed. If they brought up something that they needed help with, I was like, I think I can help you with that. And I tried to figure out a way to help them. And I realized really quickly, or not quickly enough, unfortunately, it was just like, this is too hard. I'm one person, and I wasn't able to truly help them in the way that they needed because I was trying to do too many things. And so just as of the last year or so, I really focused, and a lot of the training and things I'd learned was focus on one thing, whether it's one product that you can be truly an expert in or one vertical that you're an expert in. And so we picked schools, and I'd worked with a couple schools for years and really loved working with them. And we've been able to really help them grow their enrollment and just connect better with their families online. And I was like, well, let's just focus on that one. So we've really just taken this huge shift as a company to truly just focus on schools and solving their problems. Because if I'm only worried about one vertical's problems, I can truly step in and help them in a way that they haven't been helped before, because all I'm focusing on is like, how can I solve a school's problem, and not trying to think about a plumber's problems, an electrician's problems, a restaurant's problems. I can just focus on one. So it's a very recent thing, but it's been just a game changer for us to just be focused on one. So anybody listening would be focused on a vertical, in my opinion, or focus on one specific service and be kind of the expert in that one. If you're getting going, you kind of feel like you're lost right now and you don't know, you're trying to do too many things. Pick one, be really good at it, and you can always add on additional ones as time goes on.
And as I would suspect that as you add more schools to your list of clients, you're identifying problems that you can solve for future schools that you onboard in the future. It's a win-win all the way around.
100%. And one of the things real quick we did see was something we built for a school and did for a school. We solved their problem, but then we can take that exact thing we just did for them and give it to another school that's across in another state, another country, that is solving their problem too, but we already just built it for this one. So I can now just provide it for this one because I already solved it for another school, if that makes any sense. So it's been really efficient for us as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Strategy to scale for sure. Arpit, I want to come to you now to open up the discussion around service levels. How do you recommend agencies approach clients with different budgets? So at Vendasta, we say there are the three main service models: DIY or self-serve, do it with me, and do it for me, which would be more of a high touch client relationship. Do those service levels ring true for the agencies that you're working with in the field?
Great questions, Nicole. Let's just break them down and divide them into two parts. The first one, how to approach clients with different budgets. Over the last 15 months, partners that I work with, we've worked really hard to develop their core services that they would want to offer, like how Mitch said, you need to find a service that you do fantastically well and bundle it with other solutions to take their digital journey forward. So we've worked really, really hard developing these core services they want to offer, and then customize those offerings as per the individual customer's need. So let's say a new business that is starting their online presence. That business owner is, just like buying a condo or a house. Just how you get a physical address for the house, you need an online address, a digital address to your business, which starts with a Google business profile, a website, or a landing page, and you club that with listings. That is your gateway to digital. Whereas on the other hand, a seasoned business who might have their basics in check, but they might need help generating more reviews, bringing more traffic, be it digital or physical, so that they can generate more sales. For such situations, again, your core offerings are very, very helpful, and you pitch the solutions that directly address these immediate needs, so that businesses can get those extra sales that they're eyeing for. I love the idea of phased approach. It is very important for agency owners to step inside the local business owner's shoes and address that situation right on then and there. On the second part of this question, which was having three service models: the do it yourself, the do it with me, and the done for you. The main objective of agencies is to solidify the base and then add value through a do it with me or a done for you sort of an approach, which not only brings more dollars, more revenue to the agency owners, but that brings a lot of value to these small and medium local businesses, because the marketing experts do their job, the business owners do their job. Their job is to primarily bring in more sales, service customers, and they have experts who are helping them achieve that. So I think partners who've done that in the last 15 months, they've become very, very successful.
Absolutely. I've seen it happen time and time again. Annette, how would you say you keep the door open to clients of all budgets while still being able to operate profitably as an agency?
Well, I do keep a similar approach where, we look at their budget. If it's a small, solopreneur, we start them out with the basics, and whether or not they want us to manage it or they want to do it on their own is the DIY solution is like the starting point. And then we upgrade them from there as they progress in their business. We upgrade them to a more of a managed service.
And having the platform, Annette, I think, when we've spoken before, it's offering that self-serve as a first line of defense for these businesses. Maybe not every local business has a sky-high budget, but there is an option for them to access those self-serve to get started improving their digital presence.
Definitely. And they really appreciate that, we're cognizant of their budgets and their needs.
Yeah, absolutely. Mitchell, what about you? How do you approach making those adjustments for the different service levels?
So it's definitely changed for me and my company over the years. When we were working kind of with anybody and everybody, it would be, I'd resell things in the marketplace, like Constant Contact. And I was like, I'll make $20 here, $30 here for reselling it. And so I kind of had like no minimum until we've kind of really focused on, and we really have kept the minimum at $1,000 a month to work with people, because they're kind of bought in. And we've kind of found over the years, and I'm sure others that are listening can attest to this, the ones that are spending less are sometimes the most difficult clients. Not that they're doing that on purpose. It's just if they're spending $100, $200, $300, they want so much for that, and they expect so much from that a lot of times, and it just becomes not cost effective for us anymore because we're on calls trying to answer their questions and trying to solve problems with something that's really almost not enough to solve that problem. So we've made our threshold $1,000 a month, and typically the higher we get, the easier the client is to work with because they're very busy and they're focusing on other things and trusting us to do that. So that's something as of recent that we've made the threshold for working with us.
That's a great point. I've heard this theme from agencies in my discussions with them recently more and more these days. I did want to talk a little bit about operational efficiency and really how we can operate as profitably as possible as agencies without sacrificing the value that we're bringing to the table for our clients. I want to hear from each of you, what are some of those ways that you've managed to reduce costs while still being able to offer that same quality of service for your clients? Annette, maybe we can start with you.
And I agree with Mitch. I mean, I think there's a threshold of minimums that the way we like to work with in order to be profitable. And then offering cohesive and comprehensive solutions to our clients really helps keep that profitability at a certain level. And of course, the level of service that we offer, with our project management and so forth to help clients, move through and get launched as soon as possible and correctly. So those are some of the things that I see helping profitability for businesses in the future.
Absolutely. And Mitchell, what about you? How have you found ways to operate more profitably while still serving clients?
One of the biggest ones for us has been outsourcing overseas. I know sometimes it gets people uncomfortable when they hear that. And the way I usually talk about it with people is like, hey, as much as I'd love to keep as much as I can in the United States where I'm based, sometimes it's just not cost effective to do that. Maybe we don't have enough revenue to pay somebody, let's say $5,000 a month to do that position, but we can outsource it overseas for, let's say, $1,000 a month to have that full-time person overseas. And so that's something that we've taken on as a company. So we have our stateside people, and then we've also outsourced things overseas to help keep our costs lower, make us more competitive. And it's also helped us efficiently because we have people working all different hours. So when I'm sleeping, there's people working. And then when I'm up, there's also people working. So we've been able to have it work really, really well for us. So I would encourage anybody, again, listening to look at outsourcing if you haven't done it yet, because it's a huge piece that can help you guys get to that next level. If you feel like you're stuck, and especially if you're a solopreneur and you're just not at that point to be able to hire somebody for $5,000 or whatever it is a month, and you just feel stuck being by yourself, that's the best way. It's how I did it to start, was find one and then slowly build on it from there.
Absolutely. It's not always feasible to hire in-house for every single job to be done that an agency has to tackle in a day. So I think that's very fair. Finally, I do want to end in a rapid fire round here. So in one sentence or less, what would each of you say is the one thing that you believe will help your agency or agencies listening reach higher profitability in 2023? Arpit, maybe let's start with you.
Perfect. I think one thing that's going to help agency owners is define the end goal for the local business. Draw a path for them on how they will reach that end goal. I call it commercial teaching. Challenge the mindset and take them to the end goal. That's going to be really helpful.
Absolutely. Mitchell, what about you? One sentence or less. What should agencies be setting their sights on in 2023 to become more profitable?
Honestly, do one word. It's going to take me a long sentence to tell you that one word, but it's really just focus. If you guys can focus on that thing you're trying to get to, or that vertical, or again, whatever you're trying to solve, if you can just truly focus on it, holy smokes, you're going to be untouchable, and you're going to be a really good agency if you focus.
All right. And Annette, you have the final word, your one sentence for agencies looking to reach profitability in 2023.
Be strategic and offer solutions that reach that buyer's journey in every single stage of the customer journey.
Absolutely. Well, that was fantastic. I just want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today. Annette, Mitchell Arpit, my sincere thanks and appreciation for taking the time to share your thoughts, your insights, your expertise with our Connect audience. And for all of you joining us, we have some exciting breakout sessions coming up. So be sure to stay with us for those. And in the meantime, let's get to today's vendor spotlight.